Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, my precious pack, and welcome back once more to VEGA Conflict, the game where we'll all blow each other up or blow up enemy AI NPC ships in the void that we know as space. Not much new has been added aside from the Battlecruiser and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and let's go over the collusion event, talk about the new Battlecruiser, show it off a bit because I've found it stupidly entertaining for the most part, but the bigger thing that I have a issue with is, again, remember, I'm gonna keep bringing this up just like I used to do with the daily missions rework. I said that the Altairians were being treated like a child for a very specific reason. Let's go ahead and let's just take a look at that reason and why I bring this up once again. Let's compare the plasma shell to the blight screen. I see no drawbacks at all of the blight screen. You can phase, which means you're immune to damage. You can't be targeted. People can see you fairly easily though, because I mean most people can either crank their gamma up, or if they're on PC they can just lower their screen resolution until everything's just a moving pixel, and the larger of the pixels that is not under their control and highlighted is their enemy. This brings up a few issues. First, why are the Altairians still being treated like a child, and why is... It's just nonsense. The blight screen, every screen has 50% natural resistance to blight for some stupid reason, and all their screens have a 65% resistance to the specified damage type with no drawback. I'm not going to bring the Umbra into this and talk about their defense, because I mean theirs is just as solid as a brick wall that rebuilds itself as you punch it or hit it with a sledgehammer. You hit it once, it hits you once, it rebuilds, you don't. Well, in this case, I'm going to bring it up again because this just further emphasizes the fact that the Altairian shells need to be changed. They're still being treated like the minor group of the three that nobody should ever use because the other two are vastly superior, and if you get Pharmacon, well, you can crush everything in the game because you're immune to all damage when you phase out, and you can go wherever you want as quickly as you want, and nobody can say, hey, you can't do that, because they can't stasis you, they can't slow you, they can't do anything to you. And then their screens just got stronger. Now, it's fine that it's against the one specific type, against Blight, but again, it doesn't have to be that much. Or if it's going to be 75% Blight reduction, it should have a negative gain or something like that to be similar to the shell, balance it out. Or alternatively, alter every single shell so that they're more in line with the base level of the Pharmacon. Alter it so that the shells, again, like I suggested before, they're no longer a shield class, but they're a shell class, as I said before, because so long as each one is being treated with a unique defense, it will be slightly more balanced, because again, Pharmacon can still completely bypass and negate the effect of any shell on a ship if they just don't want to destroy the shield, which can completely make the Bastion's overcharge ability, well, its overdrive, irrelevant. And the damage over time effect, it doesn't strip away at a shield while it's active, it strips at armor, so a shield will remain active while your ship is dying underneath. And 75% reduction in plasma, that's amazing. With a 25% drawback, it's only got 7,168 defense. It's only got that many points of health. Blight screen in comparison, 75% reduction to Blight. No negative drawback at all. 9,900 energy. And all of it, again, it correlates to them being able to phase. But it's... Best way to sum it up, disappointment. Disappointment through kick-size decisions to just continue onward without taking the time to look back at older tech and start buffing it. specifically the Altairians, to be able to have a more solid defense against the Pharmacon. And again, in PvP, the reason that they still dominate, and I still laugh at this, I got to watch, again, a single Daemon battleship destroy an entire Altairian fleet and hardly get touched, even after it was nerfed. Because when a skillful player has their hands on the ship, that's exactly what happens. And if you tell them to use destroyers or something in that range, you can't do that. And if you recommend any player to use a destroyer against a battleship, you're a moron. You use a battleship against battleship, but again, people can just time it, strafe close, dump their freaking rounds at you, and go into phase before you have a chance to retaliate. So battleship against Pharmacon is irrelevant as well. The defense of the Altairians, as I'm going to just push as hard as I can going forwards, they need to be revamped, they need to be looked at again, and they need to be reworked to be competitive against the faction that they're supposed to be dominant against. And again, like I said, I can't remember how many videos ago by now, I did say that you do not have a rock, paper, scissors system in the game, because the Altairians cannot effectively counter what they can't fight. And if they down one quick barrage because their defense is just such a weak, measly little piece of trash, paper, that can be bypassed or completely destroyed in a single volley, whereas the Pharmacon, they just phase out after they completely decimate you, there is not much you can do about it. And so long as they have these extremely heavy drawbacks on shields that are already weaker than their counterparts or the ships they're supposed to be fighting, there isn't much of a point of using them, and I've been recommending people to just completely bypass them lately because they're the weakest faction. They're going to be the chink in your armor. If you use them, you're going to be susceptible to being ambushed and just completely being wiped out without being able to fight back. And again, I did say exactly what should have been buffed on them and how to change them in an entirely separate video. Okay, now with that out of the way, and the little rant about the Pharmacon still not being balanced, and the Altairian still not getting any love, and the trash can that is this thing, I'm not even going to classify it as a garbage truck anymore. It's just a trash can because I'm not even moving them anymore. I've just set them off to the side of the curb and they're just there forever. Now onto the new Battlecruiser that just stomps and kicks the other two Battlecruisers' teeth in, takes them for everything they're worth, and then has a lot more entertainment value from it. That is the Inhibitor Battlecruiser. And my rant, you guys are going to love this. Its phase state, it does increase movement speed, stuff like that, but here's what it gets when it exits phase. It gets boosted defense resistances for 4 seconds. Okay, what's it got? It gets increased screen resistances of everything. I have no words to describe, again, the disappointment that I have towards the development team's choice to make a faction so powerful that something they say is supposed to be countered has no counter. Unless you build something specifically to counter it, but then all they have to do is just build a new fleet, and something you may have taken weeks or months to build is now obsolete and useless because they just changed tactic with a single ship. That's all it takes with the Pharmacon, just a single ship. And giving some this, I'm just disappointed. Let's just not talk about this one anymore. I'm gonna just go ahead and I'm gonna show off exactly what I want to do. I'm not gonna talk about the event. I'm not gonna talk about the Pharmacon. I'm just going to show you the new ship, and then have a bit of fun on screen. So this video isn't going to be some depressing piece of garbage video that's just being thrown out there to rant. First off, do I like the new Battlecruiser? Yes, because it's broken and overpowered and it's the new thing. Honestly, It ain't that bad. When it kicks something in the teeth, oh boy does it kick. And I have something else that you guys are going to like even more. Let me just go ahead and quickly find an in-planet level 45-ish fleet. Shouldn't be a problem, right? Because, I mean, Planet Strike is going on, so a level 45 fleet should be extremely easy to find. Yeah, right here. You won't be needed right away. Kill the carrier. Just kill the carrier. That's the main one. Actually, no. Let's go ahead and let's go wipe out the battleships first, because it's always hilarious to watch them struggle. Yes. I wanted to shoot it because I want to take repair time. If not, I don't feel like I'm playing the game. And gone just like that. Even though this is all going to be free repair time at the end of this fight. How broken does a ship or a faction have to be before Kicksai will actually go ahead and just think about balancing them out? Oh yeah, that one where it killed everything down there. That's all there is to that. Did I have any joy in that? No, not really. Now for the thing I do get a good laugh at. You want to see one of the most entertaining troll ships that I've seen in a while that I just built for no apparent reason? And yes, I built this entire ship today. From the ground up. It's a brand new ship. Added to my roster. Yeah. I got bored. This is what happens when I get bored. Apparently I just build random ships now. And honestly, I like how this one plays out. Check this out. And I went with Burr to increase the speed of the rounds so that they can reach the target a little bit more easily. Because as you're going to see, they really need it. But on approach, it can destroy several ships very, very easily. And I actually like the new weapon, the tick cannon. I was expecting it to be pretty bad with the spread that it has until I saw that it fires like that. I can see quite a few different ships using it for cluster targets, just messing them up and just mangling them. However, against faster moving targets like this, it can't hit them worth anything at all. Until it's like right on top of them. But that's it. All slow moving targets and most ships that I've found in the game with this little troll ship, most of the rounds hit, no matter what the angle is, and enough of them hit that it just destroys them. Now, squadrons, it doesn't work too well against because AI squadrons, I still know the exact stats they have, but they never die as quickly as the player squadrons do. But this is just such a stupidly entertaining weapon to use, and I'm thinking of putting a few of them on destroyers. And let's go ahead and let's hop back to the base. Hey look, it's another overpriced deal that I don't care about. Come on guys, really, give us an option to disable that type of garbage, because I don't want to see it popping up 24/7 or every time I have to go back to my base. Now, naturally, for the recommendation for the video, I'm going to recommend you pick up the top tech, stuff like that. But I have a recommendation for Kicksai. And it actually has nothing to do with the current event, it actually has something to do with Fleet Commander. the new fleet commander, and this is something I just want to point out to them. So long as you keep introducing new fleet commanders, at least give the lower level players or mid-level players or people that at least have Xeno division or above access to be able to fight the targets reliably. Because if they have to grind for about 7 to 10 times as long as I do to get the same stuff I do, and it takes them hours where it took me just a few, like half an hour of sitting around laughing, naturally you're going to lose them as a potential customer because they're just going to leave because they have no interest in sticking around. That's never entertaining for anyone involved. And I did do that before, and I ground away for hours to get to where I was at this point, so now I hardly have to play the game to be able to stay current tech. But I know what that stupid grind is like, and whenever these new prizes and stuff come out, the price goes up, but the value for the targets just remains the same. For high level, no problem. We hit 15 top tier fleet targets for 1,000,000 points apiece, we're done. Just like that. Takes about 30 minutes, we're done. If not less. For me, it takes about 21 minutes. And I'm done with the event, just like that. I have whatever the new top prize is. For a low level, though, Kick say you have no idea how to balance those low level targets, and they do not give any points value that's worth anything remotely close to the targeted audience. This video is turned into a giant rant, and I'm pretty sure that's what the name of the video is going to be, just a giant rant. And it's for good reasons, because I want people to have a good time when they play a game, and then when you play VEGA, there's this soul-sucking time block that just refuses to move. And everything correlates so heavily to the time of the game that's spent in the game that I find myself more and more logging out to play other games because I don't have to waste time. I log in, I play a match of Supreme Commander 2 against a hard or cheating AI for about 13 minutes. I'm done with that match, just like that. 13 minutes. And I will have created about 1,000-ish units and had one hell of a blast having a good time doing that. I can't do the same here in VEGA. I can't smile, I can't laugh unless I'm doing something stupid. I mean, I used a load of time tokens just to build this one ship. And it's not entertaining to me, and I said I couldn't recommend the game before, and I still can't recommend it even now. The entire time I've been playing the game, I've been suggesting stuff and trying to push stuff, and I suggested making dreadnoughts. We've got dreadnoughts. I suggested making assault carriers. We have assault carriers. Instead of using squadrons, they use extremely heavy freaking weapons. And there's more things like that. But you're still stuck behind this massively stupid time constraint. First off, people don't have 48 hours and a 24-hour day to spend in the game to get what they want if they're a low level. And if you tell them, oh hey, just drop $400 or $500 in our lap and we'll take care of it, that's not funny at all. With $400 or $500, I could buy an Xbox One, a PlayStation 4, a buttload of games for them. I could feed myself for the better portion of a month and a half, 2 months, as well fed, and so much more. And you're going to tell me that your pixels are worth more than food? Yeah, no. That's why I'm still VIP 0. I don't pay to play this game. I enjoy what I've worked for now. But when it still takes too much time, there are other people that just don't want to invest the time because it's not worth it. And I could recommend 50 other RTS games that are around $5, $5 to $15, that I've played, that I still play, and many of which that I do want to try out and play, based on positive player feedback, watching gameplay of the videos, and stuff like that. The fact that VEGA has changed so little since I've started playing the game, it's a disappointment, naturally. But it just goes to also show that there is no guidance to the game at all either. because the entire time I've been playing, very little has changed. The primary ship classes, they're still intact, and they haven't really changed. There's no new game-breaking features that are extremely entertaining. There are very few new features that I even look forwards to. Disappointment, let's just leave it at that. I'm going to title the video Disappointment. But I'm not going to say that I'm disappointed in this ship, because I mean, this was worth building and just screwing around with just to watch. And with a 2-hour and 25-minute repair tag, log out, play Warframe for that time frame. Log back in, have a little bit more fun. But the amount of time that it takes to go into VEGA to be able to advance to the top tier, and the amount of money that has to be spent to achieve this, it's not worth it. And if anyone ever tries to justify it, I'm so happy that you can be so content with wasting thousands of dollars on a game that won't be around in 5-10 years from now. And at the same time, I'll be able to smile and look back and say, yeah, I had good memories. Bad memories, but I'll be able to laugh at memories like this, especially the rants. And all the while, I'm going to be able to sit back and I'm going to laugh. Wholeheartedly. And I'm not going to explain why. But that's it. Rant's over, everybody. I'll do a full look into the new Battlecruiser and stuff in another video when I don't feel like just deleting the game for being such a boring, wasted grind. And for all you lower levels, I'm sorry for the fact that it takes you forever to get anything in the game. That's not ideal. That's never ideal. And spending a few $1,000s to get to the point that I'm at to be able to play with the top tier stuff, or just buy a pack of it for $100, that's not ideal either. Again, waste of money in my eyes. But hope you all enjoy it out there in the void. That's gonna be it for me for now. If you guys want the full fitting of this ship, and well, I actually do have one other one. If you want this fitting, or if you have a Mark I Bastion that you acquired, you can actually use this fitting, because most of this stuff is lower tier tech, or a lower enough requirement that you should be able to use it with mostly Xenoraxis level buildings and stuff like that, including the weapons. Now, it's not the best, because you saw the damage on the other one, 2,000 plus, because of Burr. But it's entertaining to say the least. And as I pointed out, fast-moving targets, I can't hit them at point blank. But the only fast-moving player targets I know of are, well, we all know them. They're the broken ships, or in this case, Pharmacon. But you can't hit them to begin with, because most of the time they're going to be in phase anyways. But these are the side builds that I do for a little bit of fun. If you want to see more of them, let me know. Also, as you can see on screen, I've broken every single one of the garbage cans. They're not worth very much to me, so they break very easily. But if you want to see more, let me know. Again, like I said, I'll do a full discussion of the collusion event, the targets, the ship, tactics, things like that later once I'm a little bit more wound down, don't feel like, again, deleting the game because it's a giant wasted grind. But have a good day, everybody, and as always, I'll see you later.